Alright trainers, TaeganAdventures here. So today Cresselia takes its leave from tier 5 raids in Pokemon Go, and taking its place is the Leviathan Kyogre. Now Kyogre is one of the best, if not the best water types in the game. It's pretty bulky with a base 205 HP, base 270 attack, and decent base 228 defense. Kyogre gets 3 really powerful charge moves, which are Waterfall, Blizzard, and Thunder. All really good spammable moves which give Kyogre some really good coverage, which I'll be going over later, but for now I'll be going over the best strategies to take on and use a Kyogre, possibly in battles, PvP, etc. And I'll be giving you the optimal group size to take on a Kyogre in Pokemon Go. So with that being said, let's dive right into Kyogre's weaknesses. Now Kyogre, being a pure water type, will be weak to electric and grass type moves. So mainly your counters will be grass and electric types. Now in the electric type department, of course, we have the typical hard hitters like Electivire, Raikou, Magnezone, Luxray, Zapdos. For these electric types, generally you want to go with Wild Charge as their charge move here. Wild Charge is one of the best electric types in the game as of right now, so Electivire with Wild Charge is going to do a lot of damage. Raikou with Wild Charge also going to do a lot of DPS right there. Raikou being especially bulky as well, so Raikou definitely one of your top counters there. Magnezone, a pretty new addition to our roster of electric type Pokemon here. Magnezone is an electric and a steel type, and resists Ice Beam as well as dishing out super effective damage with its electric type move, so definitely one to consider, especially coming off a 238 base attack. Luxray is also pretty viable as a Kyogre counter, whereas Zapdos you want to be careful when sending it on a Blizzard Kyogre, Blizzard being super effective on Zapdos, especially coming off a very huge attack stat. It is gonna hurt on Zapdos, so beware of Blizzard on Kyogre because that is gonna wreck your Zapdos. Now as for your grass types, they'll also get wrecked by Blizzard if you are not careful with them, so definitely use them with caution, or just simply use them on a Kyogre with Hydro Pump or Thunder. But basically your go-to grass types, if you want to go down the offensive route, are going to be Roserade, Sceptile, and Leafeon. These 3 Pokemon do have really good movesets. Roserade with Razor Leaf and Solar Beam or Grass Knot will do lots of damage. It has one of the highest DPS among any grass type counter for Kyogre, so it's definitely one worth using. For Sceptile, Bullet Seed and Frenzy Plant, I know Frenzy Plant is a community day move right now, so only a limited number of people actually have it, but Sceptile with Frenzy Plant is a really good option here. For those of you who do not have your exclusive community day Sceptile, Leafeon would be a good stand-in, especially with its really good defenses. 219 base defense, 216 base attack, definitely comparable to Sceptile, which is not as defensive, but still good on offense. Now if you want more bulky grass types, definitely Venusaur is the way to go. Although it doesn't have as high of a DPS compared to Sceptile or Leafeon, it can still outlast quite a couple of threats, especially with that really good HP stat, the decent attack stat, and its defense stat is nothing to laugh at as well. It's pretty good, 189 base defense, considering how trusty Venusaur has been ever since the first generation. Definitely Venusaur is a pretty worthwhile pick. Of course, we still have Tangrowth, which can soak up a lot of damage, especially with its really great bulk. Base 225 HP, base 207 attack, definitely above average, so if you want to use a Tangrowth, definitely try and use one, especially if you can afford it with your Sinnoh Stones, so Tangrowth is definitely one worth using as well. As for the number of players, I would recommend about 3 to 6 players above level 30 and about 7 to 8 trainers below level 30, so definitely bring more trainers if you don't have the right counters or if you don't have enough firepower. But if you have the right counters with the right investments, you should be good to go with about 3 to 4 people. Now as for the perfect IV CP, with the weather boost, which is in rainy weather, you'll be looking at 29.39. Without the weather boost, which is in any other weather apart from rainy, you'll be looking at 23.51. Now of course, if you want to hunt a Kyogre in rainy weather to get the weather boost, by all means, if you live in a country which has lots of rain, that's going to be a definite advantage on your side. You're very likely to find a weather boosted Kyogre there. The weather boost will also power up your electric type moves, so definitely in rainy weather send in your electric types like your Electivires, your Zapdoses, etc. Now if you live in a country with sunny weather, that is your time to shine, pun intended, because sunny weather boosts your grass type moves, so your grass type counter is going to be weather boosted. So send in your grass types in sunny weather unless it's an Ice Beam Kyogre. As for Kyogre's offenses though, Kyogre is definitely true to its name here, one of the best water types in the game. When I pitched it up against a Charizard, it way outperforms Gyarados, its non-legendary counterpart, in terms of both TDO and DPS here. Kyogre is the king of the water types. In terms of its coverage moves, it's not that bad as well. With Blizzard, it's definitely up there with Gyarados with double dragon moves. I've pitched it up against a Venusaur in this case. Gyarados with Dragon Breath and Outrage would do similar DPS. I know it's not really a like-for-like comparison here, but it's the closest I can get with a Gyarados here. Definitely Blizzard is a useful coverage move when dealing with grass types. If you see a grass type in a PvP match, definitely Blizzard is a really good coverage option. Thunder as well, if you see any flying types or any opposing Kyogres or bulky water types, Thunder would be a really good choice. When I pitched both Kyogre and Gyarados up against a Dragonite, definitely you can see Gyarados start to prevail here with its Dragon type moves. So if you want to use Kyogre as a Dragon type counter, there are better counters out there. Heck, even Gyarados is a better Dragon-type counter than Kyogre is. What more can I say about Salamence, Rayquaza, Dragonite? All of these really powerful and established Dragon types in the meta. I know I already mentioned a bit about PvP, but in PvP, Kyogre is really useful in the higher tiers, especially the Ultra and Master League. Master League, especially where there are lots of legendaries roaming about in the Ultra League. Master League, especially where there are lots of legendaries roaming about. You'll definitely want something more hard-hitting and more bulky. Kyogre can be a really good check for Groudon and Rayquaza as well. Although, like I established, Kyogre isn't the best counter for Dragon types. You might want to use a Palkia or a Rayquaza or the like for a Dragon type counter. Like I just said earlier, Kyogre can be used to check opposing Kyogre with Thunder, or it can be used to check Groudon with its Ice Beam or its water type moves. Although this is kind of impossible as of right now, they might implement Primals down the line. We'll see about that, TBD on that. It's all up to Niantic how they want to implement that. But that is going to be a wrap for this video. Hopefully you're better informed about how to use a Kyogre, how to beat a Kyogre, and what to expect from a Kyogre raid when it arrives. So until then, this has been TaeganAdventures, and I will be seeing you in the next video. Peace out.